Did you post the link on the Discord?
All right, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Sound check. Can everybody hear us? Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy tax day.
Oh my God, it's tax day. Oh my God, it's tax day. Who still has not paid their taxes? Don't lie. Who still has not filed?
You have a day, or you can extend.
I didn't file yet. I did not file yet. I know there's some people in the same boat. Let me open the chat. Hold on. I can't see what they're saying.
Everyone extended.
Yeah, we are selling hood today. I'm selling hood today. I'm selling a big chunk of my hood today. I'll explain why. I'm still gonna hold some. I'm not gonna full sell. I never full sell equity like that. But I am taking profit on hood and I'm taking profit on Netflix. And I'm gonna explain to you why. Because this is when you become emotional. This is when you hit your target is when you become emotional. And just the same way we bought at a level is the same way we sell at a level. So bear with me for a second, guys. I am doing some stuff right now, making sure that we're all posted everywhere. I think we are. I want to make sure we're posted on IG as well. But how are you guys all doing? Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. We got Mike on the horn this morning.
Happy Wednesday, guys.
I made 2 tickets. I got a response to the last one, but nothing about the subscription has been resolved. I'm seeing it. I saw that, and I think it's. I agree with you. I think it's crazy. Let me. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do. I'm just gonna be transparent with you. I don't think I'm able to help much. You can DM me and I'll send it over. But Mike and I don't really have much of a say in those administrative things. Anyways, what we do have a say in, though, is we have a say in our levels and we have a say in our game plan today. So we're going to talk about that. We are going to discuss some plays that we had in play from last week and 2 weeks prior that have hit profit taking points. And I give you guys some free stuff on the pre-markets. I talked to you guys about some equity plays I was making. And one of them was Netflix that we spoke about. Other one was Hood, and they both hit my big profit taking spot. So I'll talk about them today. And there's a reason why we should be taking profits on fintechs this morning. The reason why is because I don't think that this push on fintechs, and granted, I'm long fintech, right? I don't think that this move on fintechs is that sustainable. Just to be transparent, I think that this is an adrenaline boost, right? The PDT restriction is an adrenaline boost, but it's not a fundamental change in the company's books, and so I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, now granted, I could be wrong, and I'm long. I'm not short, obviously, but I will take profit in pushes like this. So I'll explain why, and we'll jump into the chart, and I'll show you where I think Hood is going to. Okay, so that being said, we got Mike here with us as well today. So we're going to go over our equities. We have to be more precise today because we have to go through more things. So SPY is right now back at the all-time highs this morning. Yes, right there with it. And we just have grinded higher, right? With no swing low. The development of a swing low has not occurred. What's going on right now? Why is it doing that? What's going on right now? No swing low has been developed, right? We've just ripped right back at all-time highs, and we are right back at the spot, right? We're just sitting back here waiting for a higher low to develop. but it's not doing it, right? And so today's session, we'll see. Maybe we get the higher low formation, which means maybe we do sell today. But again, we have to see what happens with this market. Right? We'll go over the QQ chart. We'll talk about Qs this morning. Qs, again, same idea as SPY. Look how many daily candles in a row we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 daily green candles in a row. Where is the higher low formation? Where's the pullback? Maybe it's today. Okay. So we'll talk about this today's session. We'll go over Nvidia. We'll go over the Nvidia strength. We'll go over AMD. We'll go over Teslita. We'll go over a little Amazon, right? Amazon. By the way, Teslita 368, very big level here on Tesla. We'll go over some other names as well. Obviously, we'll go over the fintechs. We'll go over Robinhood. We'll go over SoFi. If we have time, we'll go over SoFi. We'll go over Netflix. We'll talk about Netflix, where it's going to, and we'll have a beautiful pre-market session. So without spending too much time on the earnings and econ reports, I do want to take a second here and just show you what's going on here in the pre-market. So Wednesday, April 15th, today's session, we have data. You're seeing it, right? You have MS. Is that Morgan Stanley? Why does it say? I think it's the wrong. It is MS. You have Morgan Stanley reporting earnings this morning. Morgan Stanley actually nice gap up here in the pre-market. That's good to see. So Morgan Stanley obviously doing pretty well here pre-market. Besides that, you also have some other names here. You have BAC reporting earnings, some more bank names. And as you guys know, what's the ticker that kicks off the earnings season? The ticker that kicks off the earnings season every single quarter is Netflix, NFLX. And that is the one that we are in, right? So we'll talk about this chart today, but we know that tomorrow we kick off Netflix earnings. We also have Charles Schwab, SCHW tomorrow, so more bank names reporting. Let's see what happens with Schwab. I'm not in Schwab, so I don't have any interest here. But we must understand that if you are in any swing trades, and you see your icon here, right? You think you're long a little Netflix, right? And it's a cute little trade. They report earnings tomorrow. Okay, I'm holding Netflix. I'll hold their earnings, but I am taking sells because there is uncertainty there, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen into earnings. You can't ask me if you say, Brett, what's going on into earnings? I don't know. Nobody has the answer. Mike doesn't know. I don't know. Okay, so we just hold through it. What else do we have here in terms of the economic docket? Today's session, Wednesday, the 15th of April. This morning we have some Fed speakers at 8:30, which has already come out. Import-export prices, 8:30, 10 o'clock data, housing data, 10:30 data, and then you have more Fed speakers, more Fed speakers, more Fed speakers. But that's it, today's session, mostly just 10 a.m. data and Fed speakers. Going into tomorrow's session, you have some jobless data in the morning, some job data in the morning. Just be aware of that going into the pre-market, okay? All right. Why do I sell my shares? Because I put a lot of size in every equity trade. Netflix, I had a lot of shares. I had, I think, over 3,000 shares. On Robinhood, I had less shares actually. But in most cases, I trade a lot of size in these positions, and I move my money around. You guys see how I operate my long-term portfolio. I move money around. I'm always moving things. I don't full sell it, but if I get in at 67 and we go to 87 in a week, hell yeah, I'm gonna sell that because I size accordingly, right? I take big size in my equity trades and I trim in a profit and then move my stops to break even or slightly in the green so that I am building a really cool portfolio, but I'm also cash flowing at the same time, right? It's a very nimble approach. I have a very nimble approach to my long-term portfolio, and it works really well in these environments. Anyways, so let's not spend time on that today. Mike, your head is big today. Hold on, let me make this smaller. I'm gonna make it so our boxes are a bit smaller here. Bam, bam. Let's talk about the first ETF of the session, SPY. Mike, I'm gonna let you kick it off.
All right, let's talk about this. So last Wednesday I was on here and I had mentioned dead cat bounce. I think I was wrong, okay? I caught a little bit of this last Wednesday. It was like an immediate sell from 676 to 671, and we caught like 15, 18% on that swing. But then I re-entered the swing and I got stopped out yesterday, right? So dead cat bounce theory didn't work out this time. We caught the short many times before in February, January, November. But this time I was just wrong about the dead cat bounce, and that's fine, right? So when you're wrong, you just stop out and you move on to the next trade. However, let's take a look at what's happening today with SPY. So SPY, let's start with yesterday. So yesterday, we were looking at the 690 reject off the open, right? 690 reject, and we got like, I don't know, 50 cents, 60 cents out of that, and the contracts weren't moving. That should have been the sign initially for me to just sell that position. Like if it starts to move in your favor and the contracts aren't moving, I don't really like that. Usually I just sell at break even. But 690 was the big level. So I wanted to just hold on to the position and use my 10% standard risk. So I got stopped on that first position at 690 when that broke. And then I tried it one more time and got stopped on that position as well for 10%, right? So two small losses yesterday. We were just on the wrong side of the trend. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens. But it's all about keeping your risk tight and just really focusing on the next trade and the next session, right? So there was a bit of a squeeze yesterday, right? However, where are we squeezing into today? We're squeezing back into all-time highs, right? You look at SPY, all-time high is 698. Right now we're almost at 695, so we're like $3 from all-time highs, and we're still into supply. So just because shorts didn't work yesterday doesn't mean that shorts won't work today, right? You kind of have to keep an open mind, and we have to see how we react to all-time highs. If we're showing signs of failure off the open at that all-time high 698, I will be looking for rejects again on SPY at this supply. I mean, we're at big supply now, so this is what I'm looking for. What about you, Brett?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll tell you this. From most since like almost late March, I bought the dip. I did really well with the dip buy. We had a bull bias this whole time. I actually had some intraday shorts yesterday too, and part of the reason why was because I was looking for the higher low formation, right, on SPY, and my belief still is that we still need a higher low formation, right? You have these big pushes higher, pull down lower, big pushes higher, pull down lower, big pushes higher, pull down lower, and we still haven't seen that extension move down lower. My view is that we do get that extension move down lower. Now the question is, do you want to short it, right? I even said this yesterday, right? I was like shorting in an uptrending bull market like this is like fighting Mike Tyson. I fought Mike Tyson yesterday, right? And the same thing is like you have to understand. Even today, it's going to be the same thing. But I'll say this: the higher low formation still must happen. Okay, we still require a pullback to see a more sustainable uptrend. And my view is, if you are looking for a pullback long, the best possible pullback long is 680, right? Just because we grinded yesterday and we think, okay, obviously no pullback, no pullback, no pullback, doesn't mean there's going to be no pullback, right? There will be a pullback. It's just a matter of timing, right? And so my view is for a sustainable pullback where you would go long again is going to be somewhere around the previous set of highs spanked over here, right? 680 is your area. If you see 680, we pull back there today, that will be where I would comfortably look for a long entry today's session. Why? Because it's last week's highs. It's also the breakout level from SPY. Okay, so my view is that someone said Brett and Mike are always bear bias in every session.
That's cap. We
For
took
the last
longs all last week. I mean, we literally caught Netflix longs, we caught Apple longs, we caught so many longs last week, guys. It's like one session we're short, and it's World War III.
If you guys recall too, I mean, for the last 2 weeks in a row, I was long. Even the funny thing, I'll tell you this is, I was actually long bias yesterday's session, but I was shorting intraday. So if you want to make fun of me, you can make fun of me on that, right? But in terms of bias, I actually had a really good bias the last 2 weeks in a row. You guys can attest to that. And again, it's all recorded. You just go back to go back. That best part is everything's recorded. You can go back to the YouTube recordings. Though I'll say this though, just because I'm bull biased, it doesn't mean I can't short, right? I still think that we need this 680 pullback long. I think we do, right? Why a big extension move on these upside trades? You still require a sort of an exhaustion move down lower for us to get bought back up, right? And so that's my view: is watch the 680s, and as long as we're above 680, I'm bull bias. That's my 2 cents, right? Where's our supply today? The supply today on SPY is the previous all-time high, 698. So you can see 698 supply, 698 supply, 698 supply. That is where we have our supply today, sitting right there. If we break 698 today, for whatever reason, let's just say we continue grinding higher, right? The market grinds higher. If we clear 698, we're going into 700 plus, okay? Above 698, we go to 700 plus. That's the only thing I see here today's session. So 698 supply, then you have your 680 demand below. There is a small level, though. I do want to talk about this. There is a small level I had from yesterday's session that sits around 691 to 690. I don't know if you guys see it, but I have a level here at 690 to 691. And this was where yesterday's session you had some resistance, but then obviously we cleared it above it. My view is that you have this as well today. And again, I would prefer a deeper pullback to 680. But if you do see us pull back to 691 to 690 today and develop a hold here, that's your secondary long opportunity, right? So long opportunity there, long opportunity here, and then shorts. If you want a short, it's either here, right, or it's going to be on some sort of breakdown under 690 for a short side move. I know there's a lot of scenarios today's session, but those are the scenarios that I have, right? And it's pretty clear, and everything is based upon resistance, demand, and demand. It's all it is today's session. Okay, let's move on to ES chart. What about ES? Probably the same thing, Mike, right?
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's almost at all-time highs as well.
Same thing, right? So on the ES chart, we're back at all-time highs here on the market. My view today is basically if we tap all-time highs at 7,064, right, which is the all-time high level. I think it's actually, what is the precise all-time highs? Hold on a second. Let me look at this. The precise all-time highs here on the market is 7,092. Okay, so I want to mark this out properly and adjust for this. So 7,092 is the actual all-time high level here on the ES chart, okay? And so let's make this box a little bit bigger. And we know today's session, probably there is a magnet towards this all-time high, right? That's just what appears to be going on here, right? So magnet towards all-time highs here at 7,064 to 7,091. It looks like that's what we're headed to. I mean, that's just the next stop on the bus at this point. Where is the pullback long? My best pullback long is last week's highs, right? If we pull back to last week's highs, which is 6,900 ES, that is where I can comfortably look for us to form that higher low. And my bull bias is intact as long as we're above that 6,000 or 6,900 ES. And just for clarity, just because I'm bull biased, it doesn't mean I can't take short, right? Let's just make that clear. Granted, will it be more difficult? Yeah, probably. But as long as we are maintaining this general structure, which is 6,900 ES, then my bias is bull. Okay, if we fell below this level at 69, right, then obviously we go back down lower. Where do we go to? Probably 6,700, maybe even 6,500 ES. Okay, but as of right now, as long as we're above last week's highs, this is still a pullback long for us to look for the higher low to form. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here in the ES chart. What about Qs, Mike?
Qs, yeah, we have supply here at 630. And then above 630, I don't have anything to 637, which is the previous all-time high.
Yeah. 630 supply, I see it. All right, 630 supply, 616 demand, and then 638 as your next supply. So basically level 1, level 2, and level 3, right? Pretty clear charts this morning here on the Qs chart. Again, like you have to understand something. I longed this whole uptrend. I was longing every single ticker. I was longing every single name with the ticker for the past 2 weeks in a row. Yesterday was the first day that I took short. And just because I took short, and I mean, even myself, I was wrong yesterday too, right? Market just grinded higher. It doesn't mean we're not going to pull back. The market still needs a pullback. Granted, it may take time, right? Maybe it doesn't happen today. Maybe we just do the same thing. We grind higher again today, right? But 630 is supply. You can see it, right? You see big extension move higher, pull back long. Big extension move higher, pull back long, right? Remember this gap down we spoke about, this big gap down? We're like, hey, this gap down is not even breaking support, right? Ripped up higher. Today's session, big upside move. Everyone's all horned up. They want to long the market, right? Again, I'm going to say this because this is where I put my money where my mouth is, right? If you see us today's session reject here at if you long at 630 today, right, you are risking this. That's what you're risking. Just my 2 cents. You're risking that, okay? And this would be a very logical pullback long. 616 would be a pullback long where I would like that, right? But again, in order for us to get to that pullback long spot at 616, that does technically require this to happen, right? It requires, a 2% equity downside move today. Okay, I'm not going into today's session with a pure bear bias, but I'm just saying we are overextended. There's no way to look at it, no other way to look at it. Now, there are names that aren't overextended, right? For example, Tesla's not overextended. I like Tesla for longs today. We'll talk about Tesla longs today. But on SPY and Qs, myself, I just wouldn't go long here, right? I wouldn't go long at 630. That's just where I think the market's headed, okay? So, and then obviously, guys, if Qs do break 630, if we get a sustained break over 630, where are we going to? We're going back to 638, right? If we break above 630, boom, we're going back into all-time highs here, and we know what is 638 here on Qs. It is the QQQ, actually, sorry, all-time high, all-time highs. That's all it is, right? So all-time highs here, and then your demand below, your key demand, your key demand is right here at 616. So key demand here at 616, all-time highs here at 638, and then your small supply today, I'll say this is intraday supply. Your intraday supply is 630. Okay, so if you see us break and fail 630 today, I would short it. I would look for a move down lower. If you see us pull back to 616 today, I would long it. Okay, that's where I am thinking the market heads to today. Right. Okay, so let's move into other names. Let's go over the IWM. IWM back at all-time highs here. Right. That's all it is. It's back at all-time highs here. 271.40 all-time highs. Demand below here at 263. Again, I think I mentioned this yesterday as well. I think that this also requires a pullback, okay? And where I would look for pullbacks here on this chart is 263. 263 to 263.50, we might pull back long spot here on the IWM. So if we do pull back this zone, that's my long spot, okay? All right, what else do we have, Mike? I think that's it in terms of equities. Let's
for ETFs, yeah,
ETFs.
We can jump into
equities.
Into individuals.
Let's start off with the first ticker. Let's go over Tesla. Do you want to start?
Tesla, I mean, it's a 368.
Yes. So many names require pullbacks, but Tesla, I think I actually just like this straight up for longs. Tesla above 368 for longs. Remember the pivot that we spoke about, the bull bear pivot on Tesla, 368? We are right there this morning. And if you notice something, the high day yesterday, where is the high day yesterday in Tesla? 367.70, right? So my view is 368 breaks, we can look for longs. Okay, if we can clear this level, I'm looking for longs back into 385. What are you watching here, Mike? Same thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Tesla, guys, it's like the only name that hasn't exploded and gone and made a move back into supply. It's like every other name, AMD, Amazon, Google, everything is so overextended. Tesla is the only name that's still kind of building a potential squeeze here. So over 368, I see, 378 is the next potential level.
Right, exactly. 368 for a breakout trade. I would watch that today. I would watch that today's session. And to me, this looks like. I mean, I think in order for this is still a weaker name. Don't get me wrong, it's still a weaker name. But if we can clear 368, then it turns into a stronger name, in which case we can see a move into 385. So let's watch Tesla 368 today. Let's see how this presents, and we'll look for trades here. Okay. Apple is. This is also why I couldn't get long yesterday on SPY, and the reason why was because the names that I was watching Apple and Tesla longs yesterday. Look what Apple did. Tell me what Apple did yesterday. Nothing, right? Apple, my long spot was 262. Boom, right there. I needed a sustained break over. What did we say yesterday? We said Apple, I wouldn't long it at 287 anymore. I would only long it about 262. That's what we said, right? And look at what it did. Somebody came with a tennis racket and smacked it down off the 262s, whacked it right over here at my level. And then what did they do? Another person came at the bottom and whacked it over here. And so Apple basically became a very range-bound name. I need Apple over these highs. Okay, if we can clear these highs, then I'll look for a long entry. And I shouldn't say need it. But that's where I want it. Okay, if we can clear above 262, then I have a long side trade today. And I still like Apple for longs, but it needs to clear 262. In contrast, I also like it for shorts back down under 255.50. So I'm watching this bilaterally and watching it actually for shorts too today, right? So past week in a row, watching only for longs. Now today's session, I'm actually looking for both the upside and downside. Just has to break range. Mike, what are you watching?
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much the same thing. Like if you look at all betas yesterday, SPY QQQ closed up 1.8%. Most betas were up 3-4%. Apple closed red. So is it building a squeeze? Maybe, but it has to break 262 for that squeeze to happen. If not, if we get back under 256, I think this sells pretty heavy back into the 250, low 250s. So I'm watching short if that happens, or long if we break 262.
I agree. And do you see what I just did there? Look at this. We had this 260 level, right? boom, removed. I removed it, right? When we start chopping in between levels like this for
Yeah.
too long, I that's when I become more keen to just delete the level rather than have it in the chart. Because if I have no intention to trade off 260, then I just won't trade it. I won't have it on the chart. So my 260 is deleted now. At this point, I want to see Tesla. I keep saying Tesla. Why do I keep saying that? I've said Tesla like 3 times. I want to see Apple over highs, or I want to see Apple under lows. Okay, and either way, I'm looking for continuation trades in whatever direction. Okay. All right. Let's go into Nvidia. What are you watching in Nvidia, Mike?
Nvidia. Nvidia, I mean, I feel like the move is already been made. It's back in supply, like 196 to 198 is big supply. 190 potentially, I guess you could look for a bounce there, but it's not a main watch for me today.
Yeah, I mean 190 pullback long, just like many other names, right? 190 is your pullback long spot. It doesn't have to pull back to 190. Let's be clear. It doesn't have to pull back to 190, but in order for me to long it, I would have to see it at 190. Does that make sense? I can't long into an extension move like this. So let's see if it can pull back to 190. If it does, that's where I would take my long side moves. Okay. Now again, right now you can see we are at the shot down spot. Shot down, shot down, shot down, right? Shot down. Maybe a few bucks away from the shot down spot. But again, I would want to see it somewhere over here for sustained entry, right? For more convicted long entry, I would rather wait for longs back at demand. I wouldn't want to long back in the supply. Okay. All right. Let's jump into AMD. AMD very interesting too, guys. AMD very interesting. AMD very similar. You can see here. Where is the supply you have in AMD? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's 250. I have 260, 265. It's overextended, and it's gone from 195 to 255 in 2 weeks.
right. 250 is my demand today. Above bull, below bear. So if you want to trade Apple, or now I'm saying Apple on AMD's chart. If you want to trade AMD, trade using 250 as your base today. Okay. If we lose 250, look for a short-sided trade in yesterday's low is 245. If you hold 250, dip and rip. Okay, so everything about AMD is based on 250. Right now, this is still, as much as you want to say it's overextended, I agree it's overextended too, it's still bullish as long as 250 holds, right? So we see it. It's just basically, it's a stair step, it's a stair step, right? Stair step 2, stair step 3, right? And then right now, we're setting up for stair step 4, potentially. But as of right now, we have to hold 250 for that stair step to actually occur. So 250 is your bull bear pivot today. Above it bullish or below it, we are back bearish. We can look for shorts today. I actually wouldn't mind watching AMD under 250 for shorts. I wouldn't mind doing that. Seriously, if this actually clears under my level here and sustains underneath it, I could look for the short side trade and then move down lower. Okay, that's AMD. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's go over Hood. Hood. The PDT rule being removed on Robinhood. It increases trade volatility, trade frequency for retail traders. So Robinhood, SoFi, Schwab, all of these brokers that have a trading platform and integrated into their stock will benefit from this. Now, my view is we longed. Look, if you guys recall, we longed this stock right here at that green arrow. So from here to here, right? That's 27% on equity in less than 2 weeks, right? So 27% on equity in less than 2 weeks. And I should think for myself, I don't know why my brokerage is up 30%. I think it's because my average is actually 60. I think it's here we longed it at. Sorry. I think we longed it over here at 67 flat. So we longed it over here at 67 flat. And it went now to, it's a 28% here on equity, not 30%. I don't know why I thought this was 30%. So 28% here on equity in less than 2 weeks. This is a good equity play. Now, why is this a good equity play? It's because if you go to the daily chart here, look at this right now. This chart is doing the most incredible break and retest of a daily level. Break, or actually rejection, break, pull back long, retest. It even gave you a little liquidity grab here underneath these lows. See this little liquidity grab under lows here? My view now is that Robinhood, Hood, goes back into these set of highs over here, right? And possibly these highs over here. But that being said, because I have a good long entry and I've already met my risk by 3 times, I take trims here, okay? And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm taking trims here. My stop is moved to the lower 70s. So, okay, you guys will know what I'll do. If you guys are in a honey drip, I'll update you guys there. But this is where there is resistance, you can see. Around 86, 87, there's resistance. And just the same way we bought it at support, we sell it at resistance. Okay. All right. Let's go over Amazon. Amazon. Wow. I mean, Amazon just nutty. Amazon straight from. Do you see how crazy Amazon is, Mike?
Yeah, it's almost back to all-time highs.
It's back to all-time highs already. Amazon's back to all-time highs. Set of levels today, right here, right here. That's all it is. Amazon 248 is your big support today. We're right above it here pre-market. 248 big support. Above 248, where are we going to? 259. That's it. So that's where the next level is here on this chart. So above 248, back at 259. Are you watching anything today in Amazon?
No, man.
No, I didn't think that. It wasn't expecting much here on this chart today. But you can see that actually was the break at level yesterday's session. So as long as we're above 247 today, 247, I keep saying 248, 247 is your level. 247 today. If we're above 247, we're bullish. So above 247 bullish, below 247 bearish. Okay, that's what I have here in this chart. And if you want to look for a pullback long here in Amazon, you're not going to like it. If you guys don't like me talking pullback longs, you're not going to like what I'm going to say here in Amazon. My pullback long spot, my high conviction pullback long spot is right here. Okay, so laugh all you want. Okay, you can chuckle all you want over there, but for the Tom, Dick, and Harrys over there, I'm still looking for this. All right, so this is my pullback long spot. Okay, that's all I have today in Amazon. Again, 247 is a spot. Okay, if you want to trade out 247, by all means, go wacko jacko. Okay, but this is pullback long 1. This is pullback long 2 at 247. All right. Okay. Anything else you want to go over, Mike?
I don't have anything specific, so it's up to you.
What else are we missing? IBIT. Do you want to go over IBIT? I think you traded.
IBIT.
I think you traded your IBIT. Look at this, 42.
Yeah, it's just what the Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah, IBIT 42. Not really seeing any guys here in IBIT. I mean, it has to reclaim 42 for longs. Microsoft, actually, let's do Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's at demand, at supply. I mean, 75,000.
Bitcoin's at
75,000 is big.
Bitcoin, yeah, 75,000. I see what you're saying. What about Microsoft, Mike? You watching any there?
I'm not watching anything. It was a very strong name. You could look for pullback longs into like 386, that last hourly level.
386. Oh, that's actually nice. That's actually not a bad spot. I like that.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad spot. 386. 386 pullback long. What about Meta? I'll let you do Meta. Meta's all you.
Meta, I feel like it's on the verge of something, maybe a potential squeeze into 700. But it's like, where do you long this? Maybe over 670 or a pullback, right? I'd want to see a pullback, maybe 630 pullback for long.
630 pullback low. That's the next level I have as well. 630 is your channel low here. My chart on Meta looks horrific. But nothing's worse than Rav's charts. Has anyone seen Rav's charts on Meta? Oh my god.
Lines for days.
Lines for days. But he trades it. He does it. And he does well in Meta. So my view is Meta support here at 630. Meta resistance here at 662. And 680 is your supply. So 630 demand, 660 and change is your supply, which we are already above it here pre-market. And then your next level is 680 as your resistance, okay? But we'll let Rav trade this. Rav is going to probably nail this anyways. So let him handle this one. This is a beast. I don't really see any top trades for me today's session here at MetaSharp, okay? All right, Netflix. Let's look at Netflix and FLX. Netflix hit target, right? Remember we said, what was the exact target we had at Netflix? Do you guys remember the exact target? If you guys look at the chart, we had this chart charted for like weeks, for months actually. And what is the exact target? When we were longing it over here, I said I wanted it here, right? And then when it was over here, I said I wanted it there. When it was over here, I said that I wanted it there. When it was over here, I said I wanted it over there. And so where are we today? We were over there, right? We were at the spot that was over there, okay? So My view is I sell into this, and it's actually perfectly at the spot. Now, granted, I'm still a long-term bull of Netflix. I'm still a long-term bull of Hood. I'm still a long-term bull of SoFi. But it doesn't matter. If I have a good equity long position at a good average, I trim into my spots so I can buy more shares and be liquid. Okay, so I'm selling Netflix today. I actually sold it yesterday. I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just going to let this play out. Okay. All right, Mike. I think we could probably end it here, man. Great session.
Yeah, it's good. All right. See you guys later.
Have a great trading session, guys. I'll see you all in live.